Hello candidates, I am going to dictate you a passage of 1000 words which is based on Drdo stenographer. So please get ready for the dictation. The dictation will start after 15 seconds. It is perhaps the appropriate occasion to discuss the rising uneasiness within the Indian Army on a number of significant issues. There remains an urgent need to address the lopsided promotion trends in the Army, rising infighting within the force, and their implications for India's national security. The armed forces continue to lose around 100 personnel to suicides every year, despite successive governments holding that several measures have been taken to reduce the stress among soldiers. As many as 125 military personnel took the extreme step to end their lives in 2016. The suicide of Subedar Ramkishan Grewal, allegedly over delay in receiving arrears under the one rank one pension scheme, has set off a political storm. In a related move, the ex-servicemen groups demanding unconditional OROP have resumed their protest at Delhi's Jantar Mantar. It had been called off 6 months ago after assurance from the defense minister. Amidst all this, the real issues in the implementation of OROP have been lost sight of. India's defense budget received a boost of 6.2% in the budget 2017. The defense outlay is pegged at just over 2.74 lakh crore. The allocation is about 12.78% of the total government expenditure of 21.47 lakh crore. India has one of the biggest armed forces and has been the world's largest importer of arms, spending $5.58 billion in 2013. India imported major conventional weapons such as aircraft, armored vehicles, artillery, radar systems, missiles, and ships designed for military use. Most of the weapons imported are dependent on Russian equipment and technologies. They are happy selling the weapons but not convenient with transferring the technology to India. It is also an open fact that Indian research organizations were not able to keep pace with emerging technologies. State-run military complexes like DRDO, HAL, and NAL have been constantly underperforming for long. Indigenous defense projects like Tejas and Arjun MBT have taken decades to complete and have burned a big hole into government's pocket. Also, due to technological limitations caused by the sanctions after Pokhran tests, often India ends up spending more to acquire components from other countries than building them up. This put India into many major embarrassments in the past. GTRE's Kaveri engine took 20 years to build, failed in high altitude tests, and was ultimately cancelled. The project alone cost rupees 200 crores with little benefit. In the end, India ended up buying engine from Russia. Recently, China has made strategic advancements in defense manufacturing sector by mass producing drones, which have been offered to and bought by Pakistan. India is yet to start an 𝐒𝐴V program. Prime Minister had gone to the US after his government had raised the FDI cap in the defense sector from 26 to 49%. But this is just not enough, and the PM was conveyed this in as many terms by the American industrialist 𝐅𝐨𝐫. They wanted 100% FDI in defense to begin with. By making 100% FDI in defense, foreign companies can now operate independently in India without interference from state-run PSUs and tie up with private players to produce defense equipment in the stipulated time and budget. Like any other investment, there are some risks associated with FDIs being thrown open to the foreign entities completely. The cash-rich investors could lobby in power circles to arm twist their cash-strapped Indian counterparts. If the investors grow too greedy, they could exploit the local resources just like colonialists. This could result in monopoly of the firms. Several foreign defense manufacturers such as Boeing, Dassault, BAE System and Saab have offered to set up manufacturing units in India and generate much needed employment. The only thing keeping them away from doing so was the transfer of technology clause, which required these companies to completely transfer the technology associated with their systems to Indian counterparts such as Drdo, HAL, GTRE, etc. Secondly, they did not want to partner with state-run units and wanted to rope in private players like Reliance, Tata and Mahindra instead. But this does not guarantee that the companies might actually transfer the technology along with their product. We might just get a stuff without knowing how it is made. The image of the institution which protects the country from external invasions has been marred in the eyes of the common people. Add to this the list of fatal accidents due to outdated or defective equipment along with problems related to spares and repairs involving Army, Air Force and Navy adversely affecting their morale. India requires more than $100 billion to meet all the needs of armed forces in next 3-4 years. If we depend on import, a developing country like India cannot generate this kind of money on its own. So, we need to strengthen our indigenous R&D process. Privatization is not limited to FDI. Well-functioning PSUs such as BEML, BrahMos and Cochin Shipyard, etc. are on the path of privatization. Our national pride, Isro, has proved that Indian technology is cheaper and superior than others. But we are relegating into a minor partner of US. The government is taking a political leverage and boasting of surgical attack. But what about the attacks on our defense camps in Pathankot Air Force Station in 2016 and numerous other attacks in Kashmir? This is evidently showing the flaws in our military intelligence system. Internal corruption is another major issue to worry about. Defense procurement corruption in India has been assessed to be high, with a large mass of its procurements shrouded in secrecy with low levels of accountability. Then there was 2009 scandal when 4 generals were exposed in a big corruption case involving 70 acres of land in Darjeeling in the eastern state of West Bengal. कारगिल coffin scam, purchasing faulty boots since 2002 from an Italian firm, Augusta Westland helicopter scam, etc. shook the nation. Soldiers are given low quality food and other amenities. It is shame for government who always speak tall about nationalism and our soldiers.